Welcome to our breakout session on reaching new dimensions, how to elevate your product listings with 3D and AR content. Can I get a show of hands from everyone who has used 3D and AR while shopping on Amazon? All right, a few of you. Who has actually created a 3D model and uploaded it to one of their listings so their customers can use it? All right, a few less. I'm hoping by the end of this session, everybody will know enough to raise their hand to that question and get a lot of new 3D and AR content on their listings. I'm Chris Anderson, product manager from Amazon's visual innovation team, and I'm excited to share with you some new updates we've made to the process of uploading and managing your 3D content, and also how you can connect with certified 3D content creators. I'm joined with some of my colleagues, and I'll pass it over to Maayan to introduce herself. Oh.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, everyone. My name is Maayan, and I'm the Augmented Reality Product Manager on the Visual Shopping team. I'm excited to be here with you the second year in a row and present to you all the exciting improvements we've made over the last year. For example, we'll share some data around how AR and 3D helps reduce return rates and share some new features such as AR Compare. We hope that by the end of this presentation, you'll have a better understanding how AR and 3D can add value to your listings. I'll pass it to Leon.
Thanks, Maayan. Hi, everyone. My name is Leon Sivin, Product Manager for the Visual Innovation team. And later on, we'll be joined by Ryan Salisbury, Product Manager, Fashion and Technology team. I'm excited to talk to you today about the tools you can use to create 3D content, including our self-service free of charge tools. Have you ever thought about investing in 3D, but didn't know where to go, how to start, or have the budget? If that sounds like you, then our mobile scanning solution and our automated 2D to 3D workflows might be perfect for you. So stay tuned. Chris, take us away.
All right, thanks, Leon. In today's session, we'll cover 4 parts. First, we'll talk about the benefits of using AR and 3D, both for your shoppers and for you as a seller. Next, we'll talk about the customer experiences we have that leverage 3D and AR. We'll talk about View in 3D, which is our universal viewer for most products. We'll also talk about View in Your Room, our augmented reality solution for home and furniture items, and just about anything that will fit on a floor or table or against the wall. Finally, we'll talk about augmented reality virtual try-on for shoes and eyewear. Next, we'll cover how you can create 3D models with mobile scanning. And last, we'll cover how you can connect with a certified content creator to generate the 3D content that populates these experiences. If you have questions throughout the session, we invite you to scan the QR code here. It'll open up the Amazon Accelerate app where you can submit your questions and we'll answer them in the Q&A at the end. This session will be recorded and will be made available for distribution after the end of Amazon Accelerate. And now I'll turn it over to Maayan to talk about our AR and 3D experience.
Thanks, Chris. 3D content enables confident shoppers evaluate and visualize products from all angles. It helps customers visualize shoes on their feet and makeup for their skin tone, sunglasses on their face. View in Your Room helps customers visualize products in their own environment. And View in 3D helps customers view products from all angles, helping customers shop more confidently, resulting in higher purchase conversion, lower return rate, and regret-free shopping. Confident shoppers help you, the seller, elevate your listings and see results. We see 1.5 to 3.5 higher purchase conversion for products that have AR and 3D enabled. We see a 9% increase in sales for products that have AR and 3D enabled. 31% of customers who have used View in Your Room have mentioned that it led them to make a purchase they would otherwise only make in a physical store. And 20% reduction in return rate for those customers who have used View in Your Room for reasons such as product is the wrong size, product is the wrong color, and so on. Another benefit for 3D models is that when you work with an agency or a 3D model creator, that same 3D model can be used for different assets across the details page. For example, infographic image, a white background image, or even a video rendering. All of the assets that you see here on screen were created from the same 3D model. Imagine how much you, the sellers, can save by moving to a 3D first workflow, especially when it comes to large products. Later in this talk, Chris will present to you how to reach out to an external content provider in order for you to achieve this. Let's take a deeper look into our AR and 3D shopping experiences. We've been iterating over 3D experiences for several years now and are excited to share with you all the great improvements we've made over the last year. View in 3D helps customers look at products from all angles. View in 3D has replaced the legacy View in 360 experience that you might know and has the highest customer satisfaction score out of all of our 3D experiences. View in Your Room helps customers see products in their own environment and see them from all angles. We've improved realism over the last year in order to help customers anchor the products better in their space to understand what they look like. We've added shadows and occlusion to help with that realistic view. We are now available for over 1,000 product types, and View in Your Room is available for any product that can be viewed on a floor, a table, or a wall. Both of these experiences are available on iOS, Android, and desktop devices, and have led to 2 to 3.5 higher purchase conversion versus products that do not have AR enabled. Virtual try-on for fashion helps customers visualize products on their feet and on their face. In the last year, we've actually launched a new product, a new feature within Virtual Try-On for shoes to enable customers to visualize 2 shoes side by side, just like they would in a physical store. For Virtual Try-On for beauty, we enable customers to visualize beauty products on their face. And now it's also available for foundation. Virtual Try-On for beauty is available for lipstick, eyeshadow, lip liner, eyeliner, and hair color. And both of these experiences are available both on iOS and Android devices. 1 in 5 customers who have used Virtual Try-On for beauty had led that customer to a purchase. Our 3D and AR experiences are available worldwide, including North America, Europe, and Asia. If you're interested in a specific CX in a specific location, please go to Seller Central help page for more information. As a seller, you're improving the shopping experience for customers by having a 3D model. This year, we've launched a new experience on the search results page where you see this special AR icon for a 3D model-enabled product. If you go, for example, to the search results page and look for a chair on an iOS device, you will see that special icon on the right bottom left of the image. Once you tap on it, you will see all the AR-enabled results from that same query, and you're enabled to view and evaluate multiple products within that same AR session. We've also made it easier for customers to understand the value proposition of AR by making this more visually rich image on the details page on the image block, while not taking away from your images. We also launched on sell.amazon.com, right under the A+ content in the list products and boost engagement section. Easily refer to sell.amazon.com at any time to learn more about 3D. I'll pass it on to Leon to talk about tools and how to create 3D models.
Thanks, Maayan. Now that you've learned about the benefits of 3D and how customers engage with our 3D experiences, I'm thrilled to talk to you today about our suite of tools to help you create that content to unlock those experiences, starting with our mobile 3D scanning. Our mobile 3D scanning solution helps you create 3D models just by scanning your product, and that's all you have to do. Amazon will complete the 3D model from your scan. It is completely free of charge. All you have to do is do the scan, and in 2 to 10 days, we will complete the 3D model for you and post it on your listing. There is no expertise required and no special equipment. All you need is your phone, your product, and a surface that you can easily walk around, which we'll talk about later. Finally, This year, we've made this scanning process easier than ever by launching a new experience for iPhones with LiDAR sensors. These are the Pro and Pro Max versions of iPhone 12 or newer. With this experience, you can complete a scan in under 3 minutes. In this sped-up video, you can see that experience, where all you have to do is point your camera at the product, it'll identify the object, and then walk around it. You can walk to the left or to the right. If you walk too quickly or too slowly, we'll tell you. If you move away from the product, we'll tell you to go back. You might be asked to flip the product. Sometimes it's optional, sometimes it's required. Just follow the instructions on screen, and you'll be able to complete the scan. This scan in real time took 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So roughly in the time that I've been speaking so far, you could have enabled 3D on your listing. It's that simple. Last year, we briefly mentioned this tool because it was only available in a limited release and only on some ASINs. I'm excited to share that now it is available to all sellers in the US, EU, Canada, Japan, and India stores, and for all ASINs with a 3D experience, which, as we've learned earlier, are almost all ASINs with a physical product. The scanning tools themselves are available for iOS devices only, but the 3D model that gets created from the scan is shown to customers on all of their devices, including iOS, Android, and desktop. And to complete a scan, you must be registered for that ASIN's brand in Brand Registry. Let's dive deeper into how it works and where to find these tools. The tool is called Create 3D Models in the Amazon Seller and Vendor app, either in the Listings tab or on the home page. You'll then see your catalog, and when you select an item to scan, you'll see a style guide. The style guide will tell you how to prepare your environment for scanning and your product. For your environment, we recommend a surface you can easily walk around, like this table here, and have ample lighting. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just make sure there's a decent amount of light and avoid harsh shadows on the object. To prepare your product, style it like you would your main image, and most likely how customers use it. That might require some assembly, removing some stickers, and packaging. Then you're ready to scan. Click on the orange button to begin, and you'll see the scan experience. This is the one for newer phones, as we've discussed earlier. For non-Pro devices, the scanning interface is slightly different, but the process is the same. Here, you match the green ring to the white center circle, and you always walk clockwise around the product, pausing as you go. You'll do about 4 orbits at different elevations to complete the scan. Again, you'll be prompted to flip the item if it has an interesting bottom, and sometimes it's also up to you. When you complete the scan, you can check the status of your 3D model in the My 3D Models section of the Amazon app. Here you'll see if it's in progress, completed, or if it could not be modeled, which we'll talk about later. When it's completed, you'll see a link directly to your listing page in the Amazon Shopping app, where you can see the final 3D model exactly how your customers would. Now, as simple as that may seem, we continue to make investments to help you along your scanning journey. The first improvement that we've done was take the guessing out of if your product is eligible for scanning or not. When you click on an item you want to scan, we'll do a series of automated checks to ensure it is eligible so you don't waste your time scanning something that isn't. If the button is orange at the bottom, that means it's eligible for scanning. If it's gray, as you see here, we'll tell you the reason why it's not eligible. And in this case, this seller is not registered in Brand Registry for this particular item. We've also added sorting and filtering options to help you find the product you want to scan easier than ever. If you want to scan your best performing ASINs, you can sort by your recent sales. If you want to scan your highest value items, sort by price. If you want to ensure you have available quantity, sort by that. And if you recently made some changes to a listing and you now want to scan it, you can sort by the latest change date. Finally, we've also added filters to help you find active or inactive products. For example, if you have an item that's not active today, but might be for sale in the next season, you can filter by inactive. And also, you can filter by items that are available by you or by Amazon to ensure that you have that inventory. Speaking of inventory, we know that to be able to scan an item, you must have it available and handy. And that's not always the case for people using the mobile app. To help with that, we've enabled scanning access into several permissions within the app, so you could grant scanning rights to different people within your organization so that they can conduct a scan closest to the items themselves. Let's talk through that now. The first permission who has scanning access is, of course, the primary user. They have access to every tool inside the app. The next permission is anyone who has manage inventory or add a product permission. This might be a marketing manager or someone who's already taking images for your product. If they're able to do that, they'll see the Create 3D Models button as well. And finally, if you want to give someone scanning access, but you don't want them seeing something else in the app, we've created a specialized permission just for creating 3D models, called Create 3D Models, of course, that you can grant them, and they can just do a scan and not see anything else. To do that, you will find it under the Growth section of the Global Permissions tab, as you see here. Give them view and edit access, and then they'll be able to complete a scan. This might be a warehouse manager or fulfillment center associate whom you might not want to see other information in the app, but they have closest access to the inventory. If you give them this permission, they'll log into their account and be able to complete a scan. Another benefit of scanning is the ability to unlock 3D on new product types and categories that have been traditionally impossible to do with the old modeling methods. On the left here, you see a figurine with highly detailed textures and fine features that have been very difficult to do before. And in the middle, you see that wonderful fox with furry and fuzzy textures. Isn't that amazing? The way we can add 3D to these types of products is by using a new technology called Gaussian splats that unlocks these capabilities for this. Similarly, on products like the backpack on the right, while it is possible to make it with traditional methods, Gaussian splats allows us to bring a new level of photorealism, really makes the item pop. You can see things like the textures, the way the fabric folds, even the zippers really come to life. You don't have to do anything different to take advantage of this capability. You just have to complete the scan, and we'll apply this technology to more and more of your products over time. We'll start with highly complex items and these furry and fuzzy textures. Now, at the same time, not all products have an equal chance of success to be made from modeling. Items that have very high levels of transparency, multiple layers of transparency can be quite difficult, and also ASINs with multiple objects can be difficult to scan because you might not be able to view them from all sides and angles as you do that. You can still complete the scan, and we will still try to create the 3D model for you from that scan, but these are the instances where the ASIN might end up being deemed unmodelable. We'll still give it a try. Now, if you don't have your product available, but you're still looking for a no-cost solution, we also have the automated 2D to 3D workflow to help you with this. This workflow enables AR virtual try-on experiences, today for eyewear and soon for shoes. And all you have to do is upload images into your image manager that meet certain criteria. These images must be just the product on a white background. They cannot have any other information on the image like graphics or text. And they must have views from the front, the back, top, bottom, and one side. If you have these images, upload them to your image manager, and we'll automatically process them and create the 3D model to power these experiences. Now, to recap this segment, we talked about free solutions to help you create 3D content from mobile scanning and 2D to 3D workflows. If you have your iPhone on you today with the Amazon Seller app, we'd love to show you more after the session and even do a sample scan. And with that, I'll hand it off to Chris to talk about connecting with a content provider.
Thanks, Leon. Let's explore some other options for you to create 3D models, including connecting with certified content creators. Before we get into that, if you already have 3D models available to you, you can upload them now through Seller Central's Image Manager. To get into Image Manager, go to the Seller Central homepage, go to the main menu, select Catalog, and Upload Images. And once you're in Image Manager, you'll be met with a list of your ASINs on the left. And then on the right, you'll see options for images, videos, and 3D content. The 3D Model tab will appear if you are registered with Brand Registry for the ASIN that you've selected. If you want to upload your 3D models, select that Upload 3D Model button, and then it'll open up a new page on the right. We no longer require you to upload product photos like we did before. So we've changed that. We've simplified the upload process. Now we start with product dimensions, including length, width, and height. You can select inches or centimeters. Once you've selected the dimensions and submitted, you move on to the final step. We accept GLB or GLTF format files. And you can upload them right here. Once you select the file, then it'll pull up a preview rendering of the 3D model so you can check that what you expected to see is what you actually will see on the experience. Finally, we'll run a technical compatibility check so that you can see if anything's wrong with the model that would cause it to not display properly in one of our experiences. In that case, we'll show you a report of what needs to be changed before you resubmit. Finally, once you submit, we'll do a visual evaluation of your 3D model and compare it to the photos on the detail page to make sure that everything is accurate and the customers actually will receive what they expect and don't get confused by any conflicting imagery on the detail page. So if you don't have 3D assets, we've already talked about how you can use the mobile capture option in the Seller app. But you have another alternative now. We've just launched a new training and certification program for 3D content creators, where they can learn Amazon's requirements, go through our training, and then get certified from Amazon to be able to meet all the specifications that we require. This will deliver confidence for sellers that when they work with a certified content creator, their content will show up on the detail page as they intended. You can connect with certified 3D content creators who are often 3D modeling agencies, and they'll require you to send usually a set of several reference photos of the product from which they'll build the 3D model using their artist team. You can also work with traditional photo studios that have scanning capabilities similar to what Leon described in the Seller app. You're already shipping a product to them to take your photos for your product, and while they have it set up, they can use their mobile capture devices to scan the product too, give you the full suite of photos, videos, and 3D models. And finally, you're welcome to connect with any 3D modeling agency of your choosing, as long as they know that Amazon has specific file requirements and they meet them. They don't have to be certified with Amazon, but you do need to make sure that they're familiar with our requirements. To find certified content creators on Amazon's Service Provider Network, log into Seller Central and go to the Service Provider Network, also known as SPN. Once you select the Imaging Services option, you'll see a list of providers. You can select 3D product modeling to filter for only the providers that are offering 3D product modeling services and browse through the list of options. They offer a range of services covering 3D model content creation, just a basic building from scratch. They can also take a 3D model that you already have and convert and optimize for Amazon to make sure that it meets our file format. They can also retouch images that need a little bit of cleanup, retouch 3D models if you need it. And then finally, they can take 3D models you have, retexture them to become another colorway of the same product. Review the directory and find the provider that's right for you. Here's a list of our 3D content creation partners. They're all familiar with our requirements, have gone through Amazon's training, and are certified. We have over 1 million 3D models on Amazon, and the vast majority of these models have come from the providers that you see listed here. You can find them on the Service Provider Network, or you can reach out to them directly through their own websites. Now let's explore a seller that benefited from having 3D on their listing. On the left, you can see a detail page photo that they had on the detail page before enabling 3D. This was just a quick snapshot from their showroom. It's a fitness equipment manufacturer. And they had many product photos like this on the detail page. Once they enabled 3D inside View in 3D and View in Your Room with the 3D model you see on the right, they also took that opportunity to improve the images you saw on the detail page. After enabling 3D and improving their product photos, they saw a 6 times improvement in product sales from month to month. They had been selling 1 to 2 units of the piece of fitness equipment you see on the left, and then they started selling 5 to 6 afterwards. Here's a quote from the seller. "We immediately saw a sales boost on that product. We also played with View in Your Room, putting it in our showroom right next to the real one to see how accurate it was on the sizing of the product." The seller loved the accuracy of the 3D model. They took it to their showroom, opened it up in their phone, and then placed a virtual representation of that equipment right next to the real one on the showroom, and they looked identical. They also found that it resonated with customers. As we wrap up, the 3 key takeaways I'd like you to come away with. 3D and AR can improve your listings and the experience for shoppers. They get a more informed shopping decision because they know more about your product. They're able to see it in the context of their surroundings, something they can't do just by looking at the photos and videos alone. And we've seen that it improves sales and also reduces return rates. Second, you can get started now using the Seller mobile app and the 3D mobile content creation option. And third, if you want to connect with a certified content creator that can also upgrade all of your photos and images and videos on your detail page, look for them on the Service Provider Network.